bring Jessamine up here from Creator Rev, as you must have heard your ears ringing. How convenient that you're also here.
Yes, exactly. Hi, Josh.
Hi, Jessamine. So we are going to go through really quick with Creator Rev a bunch of interesting insights they have, and also Jessamine is the person that a lot of you have been asking questions that probably could answer these questions. Jessamine, can you give a quick intro to you, yourself, as well as Creator Rev?
Oh, yes, for sure. So when TikTok first reached out to us back in 2022, like the early half of that year, telling us, well, we're actually going to open the e-commerce business in the US. Are you guys interested in working with us? We immediately said yes, because we basically witnessed the whole growth process of TikTok counterpart in China called ByteDance. In the Chinese market in Southeast Asia, and we firmly believe it's going to be a huge hit in the United States. And also back then, before doing this, I was actually in the traditional studio system. I was working for Sony and Paramount Pictures, in charge of theatrical release for North America. So I have been working with like multiple celebrities and influencers on production sides, on affiliate programs, branding, all those beforehand. And then my business partner, Pizza. So before coming to Creator Rev, he was running the #1 SaaS tool platform in China, serving all the companies and brands who want to go overseas. So we do see a great combination together, especially because both of us went to USC. So we used to be alumni. We were really close all the way. So the trust system has already been there. So we were thinking that how cool it would be to bring some of like the expertise, the know-how, and the connections we already have to the US market, especially like TikTok here is essentially running everything very American way, which is what we love. Because we have been here for too long. There's no way we can run things like the Chinese model. There's no way we're going to survive like that.
Great. Well, and we'll definitely have to get into that on another webinar around different management styles. But thank you. This is awesome. And again, as you can hear from Jess, I mean, she has an accent that's definitely international. If not, where is that from exactly?
Oh, I actually got my education back in London before I came here to the United
Okay.
States. Yeah.
Okay. So she almost as good of an education as you get in the US. That's wonderful. So just joking, everybody. Okay, we're going to go through 5 things: keeping your shop healthy, creator collaboration, campaigns and promotions, staying in the community, and leveraging TikTok ads. With that, let's dive in.
Oh yeah, I'll dive into the details. So the first thing I do want to remind all the sellers is that you do have to keep your TikTok shop healthy because they do keep track on their health scores on daily basis. So the first thing you have to remember is always to adhere to community guidelines and rules because TikTok is very specific on what can be sold, what cannot be sold, in terms of how you sell it. They're also very specific on how you can sell it and how you cannot sell it. And those rules are constantly updated. So you do want to make sure that you always keep abreast with the latest rules. And then the second point you have to bear in mind is that you need to maintain a good customer care. And the #1 reason why you're getting negative reviews on your shop is actually always related to shipping. So you want to make sure that you have a reliable process when it comes to order fulfillment and shipping. Because if you're constantly getting negative review, reach the point of 25%, and then TikTok is gonna close your shop permanently. Yes, you can
Say
talk
that
to
again.
them,
25% what?
25% negative reviews.
Oh, negative reviews. Okay.
Yes. Yes, you can talk to them. You can ask for a second chance, but that's going to be a painful process. So you don't want to go through that. And then the third one will be make sure you get official and brand authorization, especially when you're selling assorted products. And for certain kinds of goods, for example, like food, electronics, like jewelries, like gold, silver, crystal, you do have to provide additional certificates to make sure that you're providing authentic products and they're safe to use for the consumers. Okay. And then the fourth one is, well, it's very similar to when you're running an offline shop. You want to window dressing everything, making sure it's convenient, looks good to the eyes. It's the same for TikTok Shop. You want to build up your storefront to help customers discover and like your products conveniently and easily. Okay. Yeah. And then the second point, what Felicity kind of touched on it, and also Jenna and Josh, the number one difference between Amazon and TikTok is that Amazon is a marketplace. So most of the time, if you log on to Amazon, you already know what you want to buy. But TikTok essentially is a content platform. So people are constantly looking for or exploring new contents and new products. And they're following the guidance of the creators they're following. And this is exactly the reason why you want to tap into the possibility to work with creators. But here I do want to like demystify some of the conventional wisdoms like sellers and brands always fall into the trap of. The first one is big isn't necessarily better. Because a lot of time, or Jenna touched on this as well, what people always believe, especially like premium brands we're working with from the US, they only want to work with the big stars, the mega stars having like 5 million, 10 million followers. Unfortunately, like those big numbers do not always translate into sales. We're actually seeing a lot of success with micro level influencers, like only maybe have like 20K, 200K followers, but they have the best conversions in terms of sales. So you do want to have a combo over there. And then the second one is don't panic. Well, like how many influencers I have to reach out, as Josh was talking about, if I were to reach out to like 50, maybe only like 5 of them would actually reply to me. And out of the 5, maybe 1 or 2 will actually make videos. And after making the videos, maybe like only 1 of them would actually post a video according to your campaign timeline. But this is kind of like the reason why Josh was mentioning early on, you need some help from like a professional agency like us. Because on average, if seller to reach out to influencer directly, the fulfillment rate is around like 10% to 15%, but with us, it's like 90%. So it's substantially higher. And then essentially you need to ask yourself 3 questions. Do you know your products? Do you know your brand? And do you know your influencers? Because by the end of the day, it's essentially a game of matching the right type of products with the relevant influencers who are actually associated with your brand identity and can tell the story and connect to your buyers.
Okay, so what you're saying with those 3 bolded questions essentially is that the more you know about yourself, as in with life, the better you can engage and more authentically you can engage with other influencers and creators.
Yes, exactly.
That's great.
Yeah, so with that, it's essentially asking yourself the question when you're running campaigns and promotions. What is your objective on TikTok Shop? Is it more about brand awareness or is it more about like sales volume driven? Then that's going to be like 2 completely different kind of campaigns. And we get questions all the time, like what is a good promotions? Because while sellers don't always want to sacrifice the price points, to drive the volume because by the end of the day they need to make money too, and we always tell them that there are like so many ways other than like drop your price or discount to please your buyers. For example, if you're like a cosmetics, you can do bundling, you can provide free samples. They love that. It's effective. Even for like big brands, it's the same strategy. And this kind of like remind all of you once again, what TikTok is a community. So you're not just a seller over there. Once again, it's not like Amazon. You have to be a very active member of the community. You have to build up your brand. So apart from your storefront, which is a seller account, a lot of time you need to have your creator account. Basically, it's your brand. So it's very similar to what Jenna and Josh has been doing constantly. While you need to post the videos, let people connect to you, connect to your brand, know your story, know why it's a good choice to be connected with you, and also constantly buying your products. And they will get excited when you have like new products out in the markets, and they will help you to promote your stories as well. So by the end of the day, it's all about making the connections between your brand and the influencers as well as the buyer side. So it's a more healthy like community environment. And then the last thing I want to emphasize, because at the beginning, because TikTok want to promote the platform, the e-commerce services and all that. So they were essentially providing all the organic traffic for free. But starting from Q4 last year, we have been strategically working with sellers to run TikTok ads, basically buying like traffic support. And this is going to be one of the two KPIs like the whole TikTok team is going to be working on for the ad buy tool. We're also like optimizing the precision tool within the ad buy platform. So essentially, organic traffic effects will be limited. And we do see that starting from Q2, you do have to do like regular ad buy, very similar to what you do on Google, Meta, on Amazon to promote your sales. But you want to do it in a smart way. So that's why you need to make full use of what TikTok can provide you with analytics on the tour side. And also you have to plan out like your monthly strategy, quarterly strategy, semi-annual, and annual strategy. Yeah, so after hearing this, you might think, wow, there's so many things I have to do and I have to manage on my own. But the good things you will be able to unleash all the power of TikTok Shop with us, Creator Rev. We have been the #1 MCN agency in the whole United States from the beginning of 2022. And last month alone, we have already helped them to achieve 10 million in GMV overall. We also have the largest exclusive influencer network. Now we have almost 3,000 influencers working with us exclusively. We're serving over 150 brands covering all verticals. And then, like the reason why I think it will be beneficial to work with us. Well, first of all, we were the first one to get certified. So we basically work through like that alpha, beta testing process on all the products, all the possibilities with TikTok and team internally. So if you get a flag, if you get a violation, if you accidentally like trigger the violation policies on TikTok, we will be able to help you to get to account manager, get to the policy teams, and solve the problems quickly. And also for all the services, because we have team not only in the United States, but also based in Europe, based in Southeast Asia, and based back in China to serve you. So we are actually working like 24/7 to do the optimization and all the service for you. And this is essentially what we can do for you. We can help you to set up TikTok shop. And if you want us to run your shop for you, we can do the daily operation for you. And then we can run influencer video campaigns, live streamings, as well as comprehensive branding services for you as well. We do provide ad service for you as an add-on option as well. And once your brand reach a certain point, like some of the brands we're working with, they have already come to the point they need celebrity endorsement. So that's kind of like tapping to my old network working for studios. So we can help you acquire celebrities. And also because most of them, they have been working with me on movies, on TV shows before. So when they see this kind of opportunity, it's not just getting another like endorsement deal. We always get clients the best prices, and it has already been vindicated by some of the brands. They tried out the agencies and reach out to the agencies on their sites. Then by the end of the day, they realize like the quote we get is the lowest.
Okay. And before, so thank you, Jess. I mean, and we may have some more slides, but I have some questions. Let me just, before we get into the workflow of how to work, I just want to couch this by saying, we are not endorsing as GrowBig any particular agency. Obviously, Creator Rev has been extremely helpful, and I've already spoken to merchants, including Josh and Jenna, who really like them, and that's wonderful. But also think of this as an education about how do you work with agencies. So with doing so, Jess, I mean, how does your workflow or how does an agency and a merchant workflow work here? If you could explain a little bit further.
Yes, because we believe it's always like product driven. We have to choose the right of products to sell on TikTok and promote. So we always give you like inventory templates that you fill in, give us all the details like how deep your inventory is on each product, and what kind of like promotions we should do together. After finalizing the product choices with the client, then we identify the best package for you. Usually we have like a watershed of 5,000 units. If you have already sold like over 5,000 units on TikTok, then you're in kind of like the acceleration phase. If not, it's kind of like a Kickstarter package. So we will do it differently. And then the add-on offer will be if you want us to like run the daily operation on the shop for you, or you want to do some branding videos similar to what Josh and Jenna have been doing. And also, if you want to run ads to support the videos that perform the best, we can help you do that too. We will do like weekly reporting on those and help to you optimize on daily basis as well. And afterwards, I believe so far we're the only one who actually have a proprietary SaaS management system. So as a client, you will get a login credential. You can log onto the system. You will be able to prove and disapprove the influencers, track the samples delivery process, track the video making process, like everything is trackable. And then we will do the optimization efforts and reporting with you per month, which is regular, but also ad hoc if we are running like a shorter flight or you have a specific goal you want to achieve.
Thank you, Jess. I mean, so a couple
Sure.
of questions for you, and this is fascinating to me. First of all, what is the financial structure? I believe you have there's a set fee and then a percentage of sale, and then it transfers over to just a percentage of sale. How does that work?
Oh, so it depends on, once again, the threshold. If you have already sold like 5,000 items on TikTok already, then that's acceleration. Then that's commission only for us. So that's 15%. And then if you haven't sold that many, you're kind of like a newbies on TikTok, then we do have an upfront fee. It's basically based on 3 months. Within that 3 months, we'll provide you with at least like 200 influencer videos to promote your products. So each one is $100. So overall, like the upfront fee is like 20K plus a 5% commission out of the GMV. And if you were to choose ads, once the ads kick in, we won't like double charge you. So it's only like ads fee. There's no like percentage out of GMV afterwards.
Okay. And obviously, it depends on the brand and it depends on the traction. I'm sure you guys can all talk about that separately, but I think this is fascinating to me to understand because I get asked often all these questions about like, how do I get an agency? What does it take and what's required? So I appreciate that. Couple questions, Jess. I mean, one, first of all, what are products that are not allowed to sell on TikTok? We've got a couple of specific questions around dietary supplements and things like that. Can you sell those?
Yeah, dietary supplements is fine, but you cannot advise it if you're saying that talking about the effects are like scientifically proven or medically proven, it helps you to lose like how many pounds within a certain time of period, then that's considered to be a medicine. Okay, not a supplement of food anymore. So you will need to provide specific certificates to support that. So I wouldn't advise doing that. And also like some of the hair products, some of them are claiming that I will help you to like grow hair by 20%. And then once again, that's considered to be pharmacy. It's not sellable on TikTok shop, but some of them are saying that, well, it's essentially like a serum, it's a shampoo. Then that's cosmetics. You can sell that on TikTok shop.
No, I understand some of the terminology. I know when I used to work for the US cosmetics industry in China, and it was always that if it claims functional use, it triggers a different oversight than if you're just saying it is a product that's a supplement, right? That will enhance, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And then what about cannabis, CBD, arms, guns, things like that? What are
No,
yeah.
no,
No
definitely
guns.
not.
What
No,
about CBD and CBD
no.
products
And
and
also
CBD?
like wine and alcohol right now is not allowed.
No wine, alcohol. Okay.
Mm.
You can't have any fun on this. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And then what about it says if we are targeting selling our products in several countries, do you suggest having different accounts per market? That's a great question. Should you have your own TikTok US? Should it be like Jessamine US, Jessamine China, etc., different TikTok channels or one?
Right. Right, you have to, because for the sellability, like the certificate is only for specific reason. For example, like TikTok US, it's only for you to sell in the US. If you want to sell in the UK, you have to apply for that separately.
Okay. Okay, great. We have another question. I think we covered around what are creators costly? Do some creators only work off of affiliate commissions, or do they all require upfront fees?
No. Well, some will accept like commission only. Well, especially like for the big ones, like the ones who actually have track records frequently in the past like 3 months, they usually will require upfront fee. But it's also like relevant to the product. for example, like your product is a proven success, they know they're going to make money out of taking a commission only, then they will do it. But if you're kind of new at the beginning, then they're not sure if they can actually make money on their own. By taking a commission only, they usually will charge upfront free.
Okay, great. Thanks. We have a question also from Joy about the average order value, let's say, or product value that sells on TikTok. I mean, do $300, $500 and up type of products sell on TikTok? Is it mostly low cost? Do you have ideas about the breakdown of the types of products?
Yes, we do take good track of all the data points. So the sweet spot on TikTok is usually around like $20 to $50. But once again, it's still like pertinent to specific products because we have like multiple sold outs on items over like $300, like iced tea makers, like a combo of like a broom and mop, which was like the sold out item for Black Friday for us. And that item is almost $500. But it's kind of like providing you a specific like functionality, a unique value. So it's all about that. We also work with like Philips, like some of Philips electronics, they're like $300, $500, but it's still like selling good. So by the end of the day, it's still about like how relatively considered to be valuable to the customers.
Great. And obviously, in high-end fashion, you talked about Revolve. High-end fashion also works?
Yes. Well, it depends on, well, we have to be like specific on choosing the right product to work with first. We're actually working with some like the Italian luxury goods done in April, but we're starting with cosmetics. That's kind of a very similar strategies. We started with Revolve as well. At the beginning, they only want to like sell dresses, and each dress is like $700, like $1,000. It's kind of too expensive to the average like buyers on TikTok. So we started with little ones, like accessories, cosmetics to begin with, to get people to use to the selling habits or buying habits with Revolve. And then we kick in some of like the daily looks and then to the party dresses. So that's becoming like more acceptable, but it has to be like a gradual process.
Okay. It's funny, we have an overlap. I ran a project for Revolve in Mexico City, and we did a bunch of market research and focus groups. And we found out that most of the buyers that are buying Revolve cross-border from Mexico are buying off of TikTok. Some are off of Instagram, none are doing Google searching, none are on Facebook, and few are on Amazon or Mercado Libre, obviously, because they're not on there, but off of their own website either. It was really about TikTok, and TikTok was driving the purchasing of Revolve in Mexico. So really exciting to see the growth there. Here we go. What happens if you have content creator tools at the $150 price point? Let me see. What happens if you have content creator tools at the $150 plus price point? I'm not sure if I understand that full question. Let me try this one. How would electronics sell? You talked about Philips, and we'll end with this question, and we'll get on to the next topic. But electronics, could you talk to that a little bit?
Oh yes, for electronics, we actually had multiple sold outs with the Lenovo like headphones, and also with electric fans, like handhold electric fans, and also like accessories for like cell phones, for computers. We have been doing so many of them, so we do need to like see your products and kind of like identify the best like selling points for your product. Then we can give you like more specific strategies and advice on that.
Great. Yeah, and again, it sounds like it doesn't have to be a known brand per se. It has to have a product that has value. Okay.
Right.
Okay, great. Jessamine, again, thank you so much from Creator Rev. We appreciate it, and we will see you out there.
Yeah, sure. You bet.